Alright, let's talk about positioning. Some of you hear that word and immediately think, oh yeah, healers in the back, tank in the front, DPS somewhere in the middle. Congratulations, you've grasped the absolute bare minimum. If that's all positioning meant, I wouldn't be here wasting my breath. So buckle up, because I'm about to show you how positioning alone can win you games and make your enemies question their life choices. So here's some factors that you need to take into account before deciding where you need to position yourself. What ultimates are online for both teams? What character and role are you playing? What character and role is the enemy team playing? Who is currently applying more pressure? Where is everyone else positioned? Who's alive and can support you? Who's dead and no longer a threat? Let me break down this clip for you. I'm a healer, minding my own business, trying to keep my team alive. Suddenly, a cloak and dagger comes and ults the objective, blanketing the entire lane. Now a lesser player might panic and accept their fate or ult back. Not me. I back up out of the ult, pop my healing shield before my co-healer dies, and I play around my shield like it's my best friend. Cloak and dagger tries to finish me off, but I shift to the left of my shield, making her hit shield instead. Boom, outplayed. And I do all this while keeping my 2 tanks alive. Meanwhile, my second healer dead. Why? Because he thought positioning was a suggestion and not a requirement. And the same principles apply, not necessarily for you, but you can also pull other people out of position. Watch me yoink this Hulk off this ledge straight into my team's line of sight. He thought he was safe. He wasn't. Next, I pulled this Black Widow out of her comfort zone. She panics, scurries away, and guess what? I chase. That's one less problem for my team. Psylocke, same fate. Another Hulk, rinse and repeat. I'm practically running a relocation program for enemy players, and business is booming. Another great thing to take into account is high ground. If you're not using high ground, you're playing life on hard mode. High ground lets you shoot down enemies while using cover, abuse the right shoulder camera peek without exposing yourself, and have better control over fights while your enemies flail around like they lost their Taurus. In this clip, I take height to dodge Psylocke's damage while still healing. Later, a Venom tries to pounce on me. I reposition, call it out, we delete him. Moral of the story, height is your best friend. Height is the position that you're always going to want to be in. That is one of the best plays to make. This brings me to my next point. A lot of common mistakes that I see is a lot of players treat the objective like everybody is supposed to go through this way, go in this straight line, where everybody's already looking down this lane and ready to fire at the first thing they see. Have you read the Taurus and the Hare? Smart and slow wins the race. It is not a race. You do not need to run straight directly into enemy fire, because now you're just going to be in his montage. You need to take alternate routes, more covers, more surprises, less getting lit up. This sequence, instead of running into enemy fire, I take a side route and I tell my team to take the side route, and we use this building as cover so they can't shoot through the building, and we straight get to point, and now the entire team is focusing their back line because they're not prepared for us to come through this building. They're prepared for us to come down the lane that they're already walking through. You do not need to continuously go down the lane that they're looking at. You can go through this building, catch height, and catch your enemy by surprise and get the objective. Watch this entire sequence. Here, instead of getting riddled by attacks, notice how I take a different route and get to the same spot without taking damage, and still provide healing for my team, and allow me to use cover to get out of their line of sight while I do my duty as a healer. I also continue to do my part as I try to keep the entire team up and switching positions constantly to heal while I break from healing the dominant tank that's being looked at by the entire team, because I know his ultimate provides him with health. And we are both able to generate our ults twice, allowing me to answer back to a cloak and dagger ult twice, and taking the point because I stayed alive and I watched my positioning. Now, not to say just because my tanks switch positions means they're out of positions. Sometimes tanks are going to pull forward more to attack a back line or a front line, and I'm going to support while being mindful of my own position not to throw the round. So I change positions as well to allow this tank that's overcommitted to come back and not die, and I fall back line into position. Also, in this position, when the enemy tries to cloak and dagger and Luna ult at the same time, the entire team falls back into the room to wait till it clears, and we pop out when the ults are finished, allowing them time to take a portion of the objective, which is fine, because we don't plan on making them take it completely. We just want to come back ult when the ults are finished and continue to fight now that we don't have the Luna ult, but we have our Luna ult that they need to answer to, but they cannot. They used their ults already, and we didn't answer their ult with an ult. We answered by repositioning, which is a thing that a lot of people need to start doing. You don't need to just answer an ult with an ult. You can just reposition, wait for this ult to finish, and then take back your position, and then ult, and then that's when you're going to continue to fight. Playing Venom tank, you gotta know when to dive and when to chill. I swing into the back line, apply pressure, but the moment I see I won't secure a kill, I back off. I don't fiend, I don't pressure, I don't poke, I don't force it, I back off. I get heals, and I attack the front line, wait for my cooldowns to reset, and then I go back to their back line. Meanwhile, Groot holds the front line the entire time, but this only works because we understand our roles and our positions accordingly. My Groot knows that he's the primary tank, and he knows never to leave the front line. I understand that I can leave the front line every once in a while just to attack their back line, see if I can secure a kill, see if I can kill somebody, take out one of their healers, and if I don't and I see it's not going well, just come right back. You understand? Just come right back. You don't need to force anything, and that's a common mistake that a lot of people get. They think because they're divers and they need to get a kill and that's their only job, they need to come back with something. They need to go out and come back with something. You don't need to come out and go out and come back with something. Sometimes just play your role. Sometimes just do what you need to do, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Don't sacrifice your life trying to get it, because even if you do get it, now you die. Now it's just back to a regular 5v5. So what changed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now it's even. You want to make the fight uneven. You want to make the fight in your favor so that you win. You do not want to take an even fight. What you want to do is you want to take a fight that you are going to win. That's what you want to do. Even in this situation, my entire team gets swallowed by Jeff. Rest in peace. But I don't give up. Why? Because my Wolverine is still alive. Now, in many cases, a lot of people would give up. They would just say, okay, let's fall back. Let's wait for tanks. Let's do what we got to do. Because my Wolverine is still alive, I essentially treat him like he's a tank. As long as he's in the fight, the play is still alive. I know that because of my abilities that I have in hand. That's the only reason why I'm able to do that. I can't just do that on any character. I keep height to stay unnoticed, pocket him, reposition when I hear footsteps, and if someone attacks me, they're also attacking Wolverine. That's a trade-off that they do not want to make. They're going to attack me, and then they're also going to be attacking Wolverine. Wolverine's going to turn around and answer back and attack you back, and now he's just getting healed, and you're shooting me. He's going to kill you as he's at full health. You're not going to continue to fight me because Wolverine is here, and I'm able to do this. My entire team's come back, and look at this. Now we're back into our regular 6v6, and we all are still alive. But this is all because I played my position right. I didn't stay in one spot. I stayed where it's best for me. That's the reason why I cannot just tell you stand in the back as a healer. You can see I was right next to my DPS. I was able to still live because I understood the situation, and I understood a lot of people were next to me. I understood a lot of people were able to do what they need to do. I understood what plays and what ults were in play. I can't just tell you stand right here. But what I can tell you is look around to see if right there is the best place to stand. You understand? If we or you were in the same match, then I could turn around and say, yeah, stand right there. But because every match is different, I can't just tell you that. Even in this situation right here, tanks usually are supposed to be frontline, but instead I swing away to cover this little angle that enemies may have, and I'm going by left and right, dodging bullets, making them focus on me just so that they don't use this angle to look at the payload. I even look back to make sure that the payload is being moved and nobody has an off angle on them, just so the payload can be moved. So here's some final thoughts. Positioning isn't just about standing in the right spot. It's about using every bit of information to put yourself in the best possible place at the best possible time. If you master this, you'll outplay opponents who are mechanically better than you, and if you don't, enjoy your time in the respawn screen, constantly switching characters to find out what will work, to find out your positioning is what's the issue, and it's not the character you're using. You can essentially almost capitalize with any character if your positioning is good. But if your positioning is bad, you're constantly taking the main lane and you're constantly doing the same thing, worrying why it's not working. Listen, think about your positioning next time.
These broads on me, round up the cars on me, take charge on me, 2 SLRs on me. I'm just here articulating all that I have calculated. Got these bitches speculating, we manipulating.